you said, right?
No, 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 I'm not. The one I even wanted to upload this
I have
morning
record.
is still in. Okay. Okay, sir. So this is what I have here.
Yeah, go ahead. So you can give me overview what you guys have done.
Okay, sir. So, from my research, an invoice typically serves as a formal document issued by a seller to a buyer, detailing the goods or services provided, along with their corresponding cost. The functionalities of an invoice generally include: number one, identification information. This includes details such as the seller's name, address, contact information, and tax identification number. It also includes the buyer's information such as name and address of the, then some, let me see, phone number of the buyer. Then the invoice number. Each invoice should have a unique identifier, usually in the form of a sequential number, to facilitate tracking and referencing, and for record keeping purpose too. Then invoice date. The date when the invoice is issued. This helps in keeping track of payment deadlines and for record keeping purposes. Then payment terms. Clear payment terms indicating when the payment is due, including any discounts for early payment and penalties for late payment. Description of goods or services. A detailed description of the goods sold or services rendered. This includes quantities, unit prices, and any applicable taxes or discounts. The total amount due. The total amount owed by the buyer, including any taxes and additional fees. Payment instructions. Instructions on how the payment should be made, including acceptable methods of payment and where to send the payment. Then terms and conditions. So payment instruction could be cash, check, transfer, or whatever means the payment is made with should be stated. Then terms and conditions. Any relevant terms and condition of the sale, including warranties, return policies, and liability disclaimers. For example, goods that are sold in good condition cannot be returned or something. There are some receipts that, some invoice like that in Nigeria, they will clearly tell you goods that are sold in good condition cannot be returned. So you have to, as a buyer, you have to verify that. Then currency, the currency in which the transaction is being conducted. Then number 10, additional information, any additional information relevant to the transaction, such as purchase order, numbers, or contract references. Then the company's logo can help in branding and making the invoice look more professional. Then electronic format, if it's um, an electronic invoice. In today's digital age, ensuring that the invoice is in a format that can be easily shared and processed electronically is essential. Common formats include PDF, CSV, or XML. Then accessibility and compliance. In some jurisdictions, there might be specific legal requirements regarding the content and format of invoices. Ensuring compliance with such regulations is crucial. So basically, then, yeah, that's it, sir. Then I checked how it should appear on desktop version and mobile version. That's it,
But
sir.
yeah, so but it just says about different fields what you have. Okay. Uh, the most important thing is what are the operations you can do. So this is a page or the PDF format where you are displaying all these fields, right? So to build this application, what are the functionalities? So for example, you need to create the application your invoice. Okay. So let's say you want to create an invoice. So you need to have a navigation path. Okay. Let's say in the menu you have to go and you will have an option called invoice menu, and then you will have a create option. When you click on create, then one page will open, and in that page you need to basically allow the buyer, uh, the seller to select some fields, right? So for example, if I am issuing I mean, GTS is issuing one invoice, right? So my company name, Gorai Technology Solution, it will come by default. So I don't need to display it. Okay, what I have to display is address also should come by default. We don't need to select it. But what we have to see is the invoice number will be created uh, automatically. Place of supply, which is something you have to select, correct? So that is the first field which we see that we have to select. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So place of supply, and then you have a date. Date also can be selected. It will be current date by default, and then you can select. So that is also selectable field.
So,
Then bill to, yeah, come.
so it is all about usability we are using, right? Usability means user friendly.
Yes, yes, of course, it should be user friendly. So basically, in this requirement, right now we are trying to figure out how you can create one invoice. So you will have a menu. The menu, when you click go, there will be invoice menu. When you click on invoice, then under invoice there should be multiple options. One is for create invoice, then view invoice, okay, search invoice, like that. So those are the things you have to come up. So can you write down right away? Menu is called, menu name is invoice.
Many what?
Menu and invoice. Submenus
Like this?
invoice. Okay. Submenu. So under invoice there will be submenu. So create invoice, view invoice, list invoice, or list, view slash list,
Sir?
view slash list, or list slash view,
Okay.
invoice. Okay. Then it will come for search invoice.
Search.
Now inside this individual pages, again you have to elaborate. Now when you say uh, first one is not tax invoice, first one is create invoice. Submenu create invoice. No, first one. They have written tax invoice, no? That one. Create invoice. Create, view, and search. So these are the basic functionalities under invoice menu. Okay. Now for each of those, you need to design a page. So currently the page which you have that in the PDF, that is basically a view invoice page. View a specific invoice. When you say list invoice, then it will show let's say last 3 months invoice in or all active invoices, list of all active invoices. Okay, when you click a particular invoice number, then it will display the detail of that invoice. So the page which you are seeing in the PDF, that is basically details of a single invoice. Yeah, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so now you have to elaborate page for each of these. How the create invoice page should look like, how view a list invoice page should look like, and then search. Under search, again you will have advanced search. So our search would be by default, maybe you can provide by company name and address, company name and date. Then when you say advanced search, then you can have more parameters based on the line item or location, those kind of things. Okay. So now we have to elaborate the create invoice. So now create one more heading called create invoice. Go down and create one heading called create invoice. Now basically in the starting, whatever you demonstrated, right? All the fields what should be there. So that those all should come under create invoice, because those all fields you have to include when you are creating one invoice. Making sense? And
Yes, sir.
how?
Yes, sir.
Those things were explained by Christina. Those worker comes under create invoice.
Correct.
Okay.
So when you are going to create one invoice, those all fields has to be allowed. Now in a mobile version and browser version, how they need to be displayed, that is what Christina you have to design in your UX design. And also how the view page and search page should look like, that you have to design the UX design. And also once you design the UX page, then every field how you have demonstrated in your presentation in the starting, those all have to be included. So that much from my side. So this now we have the task item. Okay, and why DevOps team or QA team all are required is, QA team needs to understand this functionality clearly, and you have to come up with your test scenarios, test cases later on, not right away. Yes, you will finish the requirement first, and then you need to do it. And DevOps team, you need to come up with a plan, like for this application, what are the different applications are required. So you will require UI develop UI component, a React application, you will have microservices, you will have mobile app. So how you are going to create infrastructure for them, and how they will be deployed automatically with complete end-to-end automation, that's what plan you have to come up. So at present, whatever sample microservice deployment you are doing for identity service or user addresses service and all, those are just practices. But when you will be working in a single project in this invoice management, that time you have to use that knowledge what you are gaining to come up with the proper deployment for this invoice application.
Yeah, done, sir. Sir, you recording this video session?
Yes, I have recorded it.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So I will stop the recording now. Anything else? Any question from your guys' side? Are you clear? So now next step is from Christiana's side. Once Christiana, you are done with the details and the UX pages, then we will discuss it maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We will do once you are done, then we will do the backlog grooming basically. So requirement analysis and backlog grooming. So out of this requirement, then we will create the epics and stories. Once backlog grooming is done, then we will do backlog refinement. Then we will do the sprint planning, sprint sprint planning. Once sprint planning is done, then you will start working on those individual assignments. This will happen parallelly while your core learning which you are doing already, that will continue. So a couple of hours we will spend on this activity.
Yes, done, sir.
So if I got it very clearly, um, you are asking me to go ahead with the UI design of the create invoice page, the view and list invoice page, then the search invoice page, both desktop and mobile version. They should be ready by tomorrow morning. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. I mean, try your
Okay.
best. Possible tomorrow, that will be good. No, you can take one. But whatever you prepare, the draft version definitely will show me, and you can show me separately. Okay, you and me can go through it. Once it has a good shape, then we will bring it in front of the team.
Okay, sir.
You prepare a draft version, and I will review it.
Okay, sir.
All right. So that's all from my side, and then I think we can start the demo session.